Hey everybody, this is the second video episode of Chief of Staff School, and I'm so excited to be joined by Sydney Gorski. Today, we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to use air quotes,
Yeah.
alternative paths into the Chief of Staff role. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is just from making content about being a chief of staff, so many people will reach out and say things like, I feel like I have all of the transferable skills, or I could do this job, but I'm not coming from consulting, or I'm not coming from finance or business operations or whatever. And so I was so excited to be able to be connected with you through Elise Kennedy, just to
Yes.
talk about people who come into the role from something like event operations, where there's
Yeah.
so many transferable skills. So
Mhm.
I'm so excited that you're here today.
Me
Thank you so
too.
much.
Me too, me too. I'm so excited. I feel like you, I've been trying to like put myself out there more and engage more with other chiefs of staff and other operations leaders on LinkedIn and just online. So when I saw the post, I was like, oh my God, let me just chat back and see if it works out. And I'm really excited to talk today because I agree with you. I think some of the best chiefs of staff have alternative paths. And, um, you know, we talked in kind of our pre call. I understand why some people think you might need to come from management consulting or finance or something that's a little more traditional, but I don't think having a pedigree like that is a substitute for like really being in the trenches and doing the work,
Yeah.
especially working at a startup where I am. It's just, I could imagine someone coming from management consulting just would have no idea what to do. Again, when you're like really in the trenches and the job is not super clear and you know, you kind of have this mindset of, you can't say that's not my job because it's
Yeah.
almost like everything is your job.
Yeah.
You fill the gaps, you wear a lot of hats. And so it's sometimes unclear. And I think I would imagine that's where people with a more traditional path would struggle.
Yeah, totally. I loved like in our pre-call, you were talking about how we were talking about how it's a low ego job.
Yes.
And exactly what you said, everything is your job. Nothing, you're not above anything. You got to be
Nope.
able to lean in. So,
Hmm.
and I feel like especially people who work in events and hospitality, they know that.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. No, it is
Uh,
because it's like whether you're on the planning side or the vendor side, you get roped into any and everything. I mean, you're married, yes?
yes,
So I know, like, when I got married too, like, I had a planner, and I would imagine a lot of people that have gotten married, I can almost guarantee you there was some sort of issue or hiccup, and you never knew about it because your planner took care of it
yes,
and fixed it, and you had no idea. And that's so much of what we do is working behind the scenes. Um, and I feel like I'm jumping ahead of myself, but that was, when you sent me over some pre-questions, that was going to be my hot take,
yeah.
is that it is the only executive role where the better you get at it, the less visible you become. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the win though, right? Like that's what you
Yes.
want out of the role. And I think that's what makes the job hard for some people to swallow is that it's not just that it's low ego, it's that you have to be very comfortable 99% of the time operating in the background. And so many days I'm like, I don't think half the company even knows what I really do on a day-to-day basis. But they know that I've got it covered. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they know
Yeah.
that it's running smoothly because I'm the one behind the scenes making sure the ship is moving.
And sometimes I've noticed people feel weird about that because that
Yeah.
sort of visibility and that credit is a currency that really matters to them.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you are right for the chief of staff role, you're like, I just want it done. I don't need the
Correct.
credit.
And I think you said it perfectly because if you think about it, that notion is kind of the opposite of every other like leadership incentive. If you're like, I want to be in leadership, that is the opposite of pretty much every other role. This like kind of credibility ego aspect of it. So it is not for everyone. And but I think the flip side of that is the role can be so ambiguous that I would imagine there are roles where you do get a lot of credit, where it is a little more visible. And I think the role is what you make it, and it's so variable depending on. We talked about this, depending on it's not just the company you're working for, but it's who you're supporting as well. Are you supporting someone in marketing? Are you supporting a founder, a CEO, a COO, a CFO? Are you working at a startup? Are you at a company as big as LinkedIn? Are you working at a series A, B, C? It is completely different, I would say, for every single variable. But that's what makes it fun, right? There probably is an avenue for everyone that is thinking to themselves, okay, like, I think I could do this role, but I think it's not just that question. It's also what type of company and what type of person are my particular skills most transferable to? Like, what kind of person do I want to support? What type of company do I want to work for? And so we can get into that later, I think, when we talk about kind of how to make that jump.
Excited to dig into that more.